All right, calling all horror hounds. If you've been watching this show, you know that pretty recently I revisited Halloween, the original John Carpenter classic, for the first time in a long time, and thought it was absolutely terrific. It's a movie that I had seen and liked before, but this time was finally the time that I fell in love with it and appreciated it as the towering horror classic that it is. Now, since I had had sort of a, I don't want to say ambivalent, but a like not love relationship with Halloween previously, I had not really looked at any of the Halloween sequels. Well, of course, now that has all changed. A while back we reviewed Halloween 2 and I liked it a fair amount. The other, Halloween 3 is of course its own monster, but so the other day I decided to finally watch Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Now, I didn't know a ton about this one going into it. I'm aware that it is the first of a couple that focus on Michael Myers trying to kill his niece. And indeed, this is the introduction of that character. Her name's Jamie. She's a young girl, like 10 or 11 years old, which changes things by making a smaller child sort of the object of Michael's, of his, murderousness. His malice is what I was going to say. That changes things a little bit and, makes it, can in some ways heighten the tension. You never want to see a kid get murdered in these things. Overall, it's a movie that I thought was dumb fun. It's certainly not up to the highs of the original Halloween or of its sequel, but it is its own thing. It services Michael pretty well. The shape is back and in fairly good standing, although toward the end of the movie, when he starts having an inability to murder a little kid, that doesn't speak terribly well of him. And more than the first movie, this is sort of a turn your brain off, good time, fun movie than anything else. A good afternoon cable classic. It does have very good atmosphere brought in by director Dwight H. Little, who does really capture that sort of, the difficult to define and to capture stalker movie suspense and atmosphere throughout. I also want to mention that there is one of the funnest things in this movie, outside of, I do like Jamie, and I like Jamie's older sister and her friends. The friends, of course, end up being most of the cannon fodder for Michael. But the other big highlight of this movie is the hillbilly characters who show up once they've heard that Michael's back and form a posse with a pickup truck and shotguns to try to take Michael out that does involve one of them accidentally shooting the other. It's that sort of movie. It's not as intentionally goofy as like an Evil Dead 2, but it is a fun time. I'm going to give Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, 2.5 stars.